How's it going, everyone? It's David here, and today is August 10th, and Dorney Park is actually making a big announcement for the 2024 season. I can't believe it. Dorney almost never gets anything substantial. It's actually a very fine amusement park, actually very well operated and taken care of, but they hardly get any big additions. So I'm very intrigued about this. They had some creepy teasers going on, so hopefully not to be disappointed. So let's jump right into the website and see what Dorney Park has to offer. So here it is, Iron Menace, and it definitely is a B&M dive coaster. I kind of figure it would be based on the rumors, but Iron Menace, I really do like that name. So well, let's go see more about it. Forge your own fate. It's a steel mill. Oh my, 95-degree drop. That might be a record. 4 inversions, 100% adrenaline, Iron Menace. That was a very, very quick video. But already, I am loving the theme with it being a steel mill and going into a forge. That is absolutely perfect for a Pennsylvania amusement park, especially Dorney Park near Allentown. It's fantastic. So you come right out of the station into the lift, and you're going to go right into the holding brake. No panoramic turnaround. There's the holding brake, the beyond vertical drop at 95 degrees. Into an Immelman, of course. Every dive coaster starts with an Immelman after the drop. 0G roll, gotta love that. That looks like a tilted loop, and then right into a corkscrew. Oh my goodness, another inversion. And then, yeah, straight into the brakes. That's a lot of inversions, but it looks very fast-paced and quite intense, actually. So we'll see how this rides next year. Ooh, I'm liking how the station looks inside there. Forge your own fate on Iron Menace, the Northeast's first dive coaster. Firing up in 2024, this new ride at Dorney Park suspends riders 160 feet in the air before plummeting at a beyond vertical 95-degree drop. 4 mind-twisting inversions and speeds up to 64 miles per hour leave riders of this drop coaster spellbound and burning for more. Already, those stats, they're fairly substantial. That's like a mid-sized dive coaster. What comes to mind for me is something like Dr. Diabolical at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, or Emperor at SeaWorld San Diego. I actually rode Emperor last year. I thought it was actually a really nice ride. An abandoned steel mill. Oh my goodness, I really love the backstory and the theme of this. Let's see if Cedar Fair will actually deliver on this backstory with some very nice themed elements. I know some dive coasters, especially overseas, are very well themed. We don't really get that here in the US, and I would really like that to change. So recently, Cedar Fair parks have been adding a little bit of a loose backstory to their new additions. I'm thinking like Mystic Timbers, Orion, Twisted Timbers, Zambezi Zinger, Steel Vengeance even, and several others that it's not really necessary, but they're nice little added touches. Reading that backstory, it sounds quite awesome actually, but based on the animation and the concept art, it looks like we're not getting too much themed elements. The station and the key line looked a little themed, so hopefully that is enough. My idea is like when you're at the top, you're going to drop straight into a forge, but oh well. Yep, and here are the ride stats, obviously designed by Balger at MacLeod. It is a dive coaster, 152 feet with a 95-degree drop, 64 miles an hour, 4 inversions, 2,169 feet of track, duration is 90 seconds, only 2 trains on this one, and riders per train are 21, so that must mean it's going 7 across. All right, looking here at the layout, this is taking up the former Stinger plot of land. You're going to rise up and immediately go into that holding brake, 95-degree drop beyond vertical, and just like every dive coaster, straight into an Immelman, right into a barrel roll, then into a tilted loop. Tilted loops were pretty common on like older stand-up coasters from B&M back in the 90s, so it's good to see a return from that. And immediately after that, you're going to go into a corkscrew, and then you're going to rise up into the brake run. So really, after that initial drop, it's just going to be inversion after inversion after inversion, and there's not going to be much more after that. If you like inversions, this is going to be right up your alley. I've never actually rode a dive coaster with a beyond vertical drop. I didn't get on Dr. Diabolical. I wonder how that feels, if there is much of a difference compared to the 90-degree drop. Because even though dive coasters are a gimmick coaster, it really is a good gimmick. The dive going straight down, it's very effective. You could get some pretty good air on those. However, what I do like is that there is only the one vertical drop. Most dive coasters have a mid-course brake run that bring you almost to a complete stop after you build up all that speed before you go down that second drop. I'm not really a big fan of those. I feel like it really kills the pacing on it. That's why I really liked Emperor at San Diego. There was no mid-course brake run. It just kept powering through until the final brake runs. And in terms of like scale and stats, this looks very similar to this. This is definitely going to be a spectator ride, both off-ride and hopefully on-ride. It looks like the station might have some themed elements, although I'm hoping that there's going to be more themed elements around the ride, although knowing Cedar Fair, it's looking unlikely. And I am so happy that they are keeping the Zephyr, which is a custom-made train that you can only find at Dorney Park. I'm really happy that they're building this ride around the train ride. So I think that is it for Dorney Park for 2024. Here are the pros. I really like the name with Iron Menace. I really like the theme that goes along with it. Surprised Dorney Park actually beat them to Kennywood for that. Kennywood's actually very close to a steel mill. Oh well. And I'll see about the layout. Normally, I'm not a fan of rides that solely focus on inversions and it does one loop after another. But I'm gonna hold my breath. It doesn't seem too long of a ride. So I'm not gonna judge the ride layout yet until I actually get on it. The only cons that I have with this is that it is a newer B&M and it is featuring those vest restraints. Not that they're the worst restraints in the world, but they are more restrictive and limits you from getting more airtime. I much rather prefer the older B&M dive coasters, such as SheiKra and Griffin, that have this standard over-the-shoulder harness where you actually get a good bit of room between you and the harness, and you can really come out of your seat on those drops. But it is what it is. I'm not really too surprised about it. So I do think this ride is worth the wait. Dorney Park has been without a new, from the ground up, original coaster for a very long time. I believe the last one was Hydra the Revenge, and I think that was like 2005. So they are definitely overdue. They're, gosh, 19 years overdue for this. So it's very good to see Cedar Fair actually investing into this park, and hopefully more so in the future. And like last year, they invested in Worlds of Fun, which is another smaller Cedar Fair park. And I hope that's what the company does for all their parks. It's not just about Cedar Point. It's not just about Kings Island, not just about Carowinds. I think they should really focus on investing and taking care of all the parks they have. And that's why I like Cedar Fair. Typically, I like Cedar Fair more than Six Flags because they do have better operations and better care for all their parks. And now they're adding additions to more of their parks, which is very good to see. So what do you think of Iron Menace? Will you be going out to Dorney Park next year to give it a ride? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and subscribe for more content. And with that being said, thank you all for riding, and I'll see you next time.